Hello friends, in this session we are going to discuss about property transfer. Property transfer is an important topic for SOAP UI as it helps us in many ways. So let us first try to understand what is meant by property transfer. A lot of times it is required that information which is received in the response of one request is fetched as an input in another request. So in that case, this functionality of property transfer in SOAP UI helps us. So we are going to understand this using an example. Let us start. So in order to understand this example, we are going to use the APIs of helping testers. So let me open SOAP UI and then we can use the WSDL file for loading the APIs for helping testers. So we can go to create new SOAP project, and in this I'm going to put the WSDL file for the APIs and make sure that the WSDL file location always ends with WSDL, and the name of project we are going to keep as helping testers project. And click on OK. So it will load all the APIs which are stored in this particular WSDL file. So we have add product, delete, get category, get category product, get products, and update product. For this example of property transfer, we are going to focus on get category product and get product API request. So let us see how it is going to work. First, let us create a new test suite. New test suite. This is named as test suite 1, and in this I'm going to add the test case. You can either create it using this icon which says create a new test case in this test suite, or you can do a right click here and click on new test case. So both of these are going to go to the same screen. So I'm going to go to this. I will name this first test case as test case 1, and in this I'm going to add the test steps. So you can click on SOAP request. Here we are using firstly get products, and in this drop down I'm going to select get products and click on OK button. Okay, so this is my first request. We're going to talk more about it, but first let us add the other test case also. So it's going to be new test case 2. Okay, and in test steps I'm going to use SOAP test step. So you can say the name of this as get category product and click on OK, and from drop down we are going to select get category product and click on OK button. So now I have 2 test cases added. Next, what I'm going to do is explain you that what is the purpose of using only these 2 test cases and not all of these which are mentioned at the top. So first let us see what get products is doing. So you can see in this XML we don't need any parameters. We can just submit it by using this green arrow, and it is going to return the list of all the products. So I'm getting all the products here, and in this there is a field called category ID which we are going to use in the next request, which is get category product, and it says cat underscore ID. If I put any value here, suppose I'm putting 1, which is returned by get products, and if I run it, so it is giving me details for all the products in the category 1. Now here we are putting this value ourselves, but what if we want that whatever value is generated from get product, it is automatically fetched as part of input in category ID as a request XML. So this is the purpose of property transfer. It is going to fetch the value from the first request and put it in the second request rather than doing it manually ourselves. So let me close all of these windows here. So now we have two test cases defined. Next, what I'm going to do is right click on this test suite, go to, so for adding the property we have test suite. So in this test suite you can see there are two properties. We are going to use custom property. You can click on plus icon and the name of the property is mentioned as cat_id, and we are going to keep value as blank, unlike last video which we had where we used to specify the value, but here we want the value to be dynamically populated by get products. So how it will be populated? You go to test step and right click, go to add step, property transfer, and here you can specify a new name. I'm keeping it as property transfer only. So let me maximize. In this you can see that there are different options which we are going to study. So first let us add a new property by clicking on this plus icon. So if I click on this plus icon, it will ask me for the name for value transfer. So it is category ID which we are transferring from get product request to get category product. So the source is get products. You can change the source, but for us it is get product request only because we added this property transfer at test step for get product. That is why it is automatically taking the source as get products. Next is property. So it is asking us that from where we want to fetch this property category ID. So it is in the response. So I can select response, and the path language is specified as XPath. So XPath is going to give me the path till that property from the XML. So coming back to the request, you can see that category ID is placed at this location, but when we want it to be fetched, we want to specify the exact path so that category ID can be picked up. So for that we are going to specify the path till this particular property. So in property transfer, how we can specify this path? Firstly, just click on NS. So it is going to declare namespace soap and namespace NS1, and after that I'm going to give the path. So to give the path, first we are going to do / and mention one parent tag. So parent tag for category ID is going to be item, because inside item only all these tags are present. You can see the positioning of all the tags. For item, the parent is going to be product list, result, and vice versa. So for item, I'm going to take this tag name and put it in property transfer, and now we want this category ID from the first item tag only. This is the opening item tag and this is the closing item tag. So from this set only we want the category ID to be fetched. So we are going to take item and I'm going to do square brackets and 1. So that means it is going to fetch the item from the first set of item which is mentioned, because you can see that there are more item sets which are there, but we are going to fetch from the first set. Now the next thing which we want it to go to is category ID. Now you can see that all of the other tags which are mentioned, they are at the same line as compared to item. Only item positioning is towards the left. So this means this is the parent and all these are the child. So we are going to take category ID from here. Just copy this and in property transfer slash category underscore ID. So it is going to give me the category ID. Now in order to fetch the value inside this category ID tag, we are going to do slash text so that we get the value 1. Okay, so if we want to check whether this particular path which we have specified is right or not, we can click on this arrow and it will show me that whether the value returned by the category, this particular XPath, is right or not. So before that we have to specify the target also. So target is going to be inside test suite, because that is where we have specified the property, and the name of the property is cat underscore ID, and rest you can keep as same. Now let me run it. So you can see that the transfer name category underscore ID transfers the value 1, which is the ID of the category. So this is giving us the right result. That means the XPath is correct. So the property transfer is working fine. We have defined the custom property also, cat underscore ID. So since I ran it, it gave me the value 1 which got populated. Earlier we had not specified anything here, but it transferred the value 1 using property transfer, which we just ran using this particular arrow. So next what we want is this particular value to be dynamically populated in get category product request. So I'm going to remove this one here, do a right click. The same way in the last session we fetched the properties, we are going to fetch the property from test suite, and the name of the property is cat underscore ID. So it has taken the path of cat underscore ID only. And now I will run it again. So it has given me the right result. And if you go to the XML, so the value 1 is populated. So I hope now the concept of property transfer is clear. I will just explain it one more time. So property transfer was declared inside the first request so that it fetches the property from the response of get product and puts it in the second request. And the property was defined at the test suite level in the custom properties, where we initially mentioned it as blank. So if I remove it again and do cat underscore ID, so you can see right now there is no value. If you go to property transfer and run it, so you can see that the value is 1 is transferred. So I can go to the test suite custom properties and see that we have 1 transferred. So once we have this value transferred, wherever we want to use this particular property, we can use it in our script. And here we have used it in the get category product request. So it is fetching the value based on this particular custom property which is specified in test suite level. So in this way we can relate more test cases, and the response of one can be used as the input of other in the request. So friends, I hope the concept of property transfer is clear to you. Keep practicing, and if you have any questions you can always message me. Thank you for joining.